So this is Rhythms of the Goddess, and I am talking to you today about the goddess, which is, her name is Dhumavati. So this is one of the episodes on my vlog, Rhythms of the Goddess. I kind of lost count because I did a bunch of lives that weren't really part of my vlog. So I think we're on episode 18. I started last fall after I got back from Hawaii, and I've been studying this book, Awakening Shakti, which is by Sally Kempton. And she is an amazing yoga teacher. She's a mentor that I have utilized her trainings for a long, long time. I'm going to move this camera just a little bit so maybe y'all can see better. And she's one of the very first yoga teachers that did like recordings on like VHS. Many of you on Instagram probably don't even know what a VHS is, but it's like this big ass cassette tape, which you may not even know what a cassette tape is, but you plug it into the VCR and you would play a video. That's how I started doing yoga. Yeah, it was good times back then. So Sally Kempton was one of my peeps, and she has this amazing book that has 18 or so, or maybe more, different goddesses, but these are different archetypical energies that are presented throughout history and have been studied for their meanings. I started studying this book before I did my Hawaii Inner Goddess retreat on the Big Island last September. And so the, hey, yeah, online works. Yes, it does. Online's way easier than VHS. Absolutely. So when I was studying goddesses for that trip to teach about, it's always so appropriate how the teachings come through right when you need them. And so I've been really quiet. I haven't even done any live videos on Instagram. Honestly, this is probably my first live. I've done Instagram TV videos and stuff like that. But on Facebook, I've been doing tons of lives and I put them up on my YouTube channel. So I'm just reaching you wherever you're at because this message needs to come through right now. So as I was studying this book last night in my own personal practice, the goddess that was next, the next chapter, which I had paused on because I had put it down for a while, was Dhumavati. And Dhumavati, her energy, this is the energy that is prevalent right now in the world. Come to find out, she is a huge goddess. Like, I didn't know, I thought I had studied lots of different goddesses because that's been like my thing, you know, my shtick for a while, but I was shocked when I started reading about her. She is the goddess of disappointment, old age, widowhood, emptiness that can open up into blessing, the end of life, navigating the dark night of the soul. Hello, that's where we are globally. So freaking crazy. The loss of livelihood or status. I mean, a lot of our lives are very different and they'll never be the same. Thought-free meditation, void states, inauspiciousness as the seed of transformation. So yes, that is exactly where we are. Recognize Dhumavati in that sleepless cycle, that it's the cycle of the Om, where it's the part before the rebirth, that part where it's just that deep, deep transformative sleep, the place where the seeds go into the earth and get nurtured in that dark, dark, voidless space before they can emerge. The dark, moonless nights, like that space right before the new moon. The homeless people, the old age homes, the dried up lakes and the deserts, the states of depression and hopelessness, the deep mourning, the pure experience of the now. That is where we're at. That is the only thing that is real. Periods of assimilation when nothing outward seems to be happening. And I have been in this spot for a while. Hey, Lena. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, I was in this spot for a while where I was like, where is the stuff that I'm teaching? Like, where is it coming through? What's going on? You know, am I just, where am I? You know, like normally I'm out here speaking and things are coming through. Nothing was coming through. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going in and going within. Like, that's what I'm doing. And so that you have to listen to that. You have to listen to that. And the more you start to listen to that, then the more you become in tuned to what's happening. if you go back even just a few weeks on my vlog that I was posting on my Facebook channel, which is Lisa Weir Yoga for Love, I was just trying to figure out what vlog number we're on, which doesn't really even fucking matter. But I was like, I'm Virgo, so I'm like, what number are we on? I think it's number 18. And I went back just 3 weeks ago to number 16, and it was talking about this restlessness that we had. And we didn't know what was being birthed through and what was dying at the time. But now we're in this global pandemic, global reset, a complete rebirth, a complete death cycle. We're still in it. Like, we are not on the upswing whatsoever in the continental United States. We are still on the downward slope of the curve, or where you say the upward slope, where more and more and more and more people are getting this virus. And so we have not at all even crested and come back. So she is also, like I said, the pure experience of the now. You invoke Dhumavati for the ageless experience of egolessness in a stage in your practice, living with marginalization. What are we doing? We are totally marginalized. We are completely isolated if you're following the rules, which I am a rebel by nature, but I'm not breaking the rules on this. You know, this is something that's really, really important. We must practice this social distancing to create this downward curve on the upswing of this virus. Accepting old age, navigating disappointment, finding unexpected blessing in the loss, discovering the freedom and letting go, transcending feelings of being unworthy, compassion for the elderly, the sick, the homeless, the humor and the wisdom of the crone, and the thought-free state of meditation. So the crone can be a trigger word for a lot of women. I actually have several really amazing women in my tribe that are in my training that are actually in the crone stage of life, which I claim myself being kind of on the merge of the matron and the crone. So to explain the triple goddess, you have a young girl, right? When she moves into puberty and becoming a woman, this is what you call becoming a woman in all indigenous tribes, is when the menstrual flow begins. She begins her moon cycle and she moves into womanhood and becomes a maiden. And in this time period, that maidenhood lasts in our culture pretty much until you're in like standard age of having a baby, maybe had a baby, maybe in our culture, we're looking at having a career. And that's when you move into the later stages of your maidenhood into what we call matronhood. And the matron, so you've heard of a maid of honor and a matron of honor. The difference is one is married or one is in that later stage of life. Not, it's a middle stage, it's a middle. So you got the maiden, the matron, and the crone. So the crone has a tendency to be like a bag lady, you know, and like this old woman that's like decrepit and ugly. And this is Dhumavati, okay? Crone in our culture has been kind of demarked by the, oh, she's not worth anything anymore because her beauty is gone. In our American culture, especially being a child of the 80s, I mean, everything was freaking photoshopped and everyone was like, you know, super perfect. And until like Jamie Lee Curtis did that super bold, like photo spread of her own personal body being a matron and not photoshopped. And she's like, you know, and like, this is what I look like, and you're not going to Photoshop me. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you. So the matron moving into the crone, and this energy has shifted from this decrepit, yucky, gross bag lady to nobody wants to see her. They used to, like in this stage in the Eastern culture where these archetypes began, when a woman would hit that stage, since her social status was determined by her husband, she was literally thrown on the street by her own kids. Oh, you have no status anymore. You're a crone. Throw her out. Like, throw her out. Seriously, who does that? But it happens. And it used to, and it might even still happen. I don't know. But in that social caste system, she was worth nothing, not even to her children. And so this is who the energy of Dhumavati is. And in our culture, the energy of the crone has become the woman of wisdom. She has become the woman, hey, Hey, Healing Tiptoes. She has become the one who is revered as the sage, like has the magical knowledge, and she has unlocked these mysteries of life, and you've earned it. Like, my hair is turning white, and I am so proud of that because I have earned that. And as I move into this stage of the elder sitting in this cycle, I am now able to mentor the maidens. And so if you can think about Dhumavati as that, her Bij mantra is doom. Even if you can think about how to remember it, like doom and destruction, like hell and damnation. She is that energy of that transformation. And the mantra is doom, doom, Dhumavati swaha. Swaha is the wife of the fire god Agni. She is the transformational energy. So when you chant something and say Swaha at the end, it's like, yes, it's moving energy. That energy is releasing. And so that is the chant. And it also means smoke, smoke, the one who is made of smoke. I salute her, because we are honoring that energy of transformation. And that is what is happening right now in the whole entire world. We are in an unprecedented time that not even the people in, think about this too. This is crazy, total rabbit trail, but follow me here. Energies of 1920, the Great Depression, the secret like bars that people would meet at, and the clubs and the swing dancing, and all this stuff was happening because at the underground level, because at the above ground level everything was being shut down. Prohibition, there was no money, there was lack of food, there was famine. 100 years later, what the fuck? Who even thought we could be here as a civilized, industrialized country? And here we are, completely, like, not even the brakes pulled down. She is the goddess of the chariot without a driver and without a horse. She is just stuck. She's going nowhere. And that is the energy of Dhumavati. That is where we are now. We are just in that chariot. We don't even know where we're going. Don't even know what direction we're going. We are stuck. We are, and I'll show you this picture. It's really cool, of her in that chariot. Where was it? A couple pages back. Here she is. And she is depicted as, you know, the crone who's not beautiful. Can you see her? So she's literally on this chariot with nowhere to go. And so that energy, she presents boons for people walking a worldly path. It pays to look closely at the old woman with the crow on her banner. So she represents the crow, the raven. Raven always represents messages, magic. Behind her scowl could be a boon. So a boon is an underlying blessing, something that happens through that death and destruction, that all that stuff that we don't like to face. It's ugly. It's not pretty. It sucks to go through. That is where we're at. And once you let go of expectation, hope, and your desire for comfort, for money, for recognition, or even spiritual experience, then that is when you come to face with your inability to control your outcomes. When your skills seem to have deserted you, you find yourself in a state of emptiness and vulnerability, broken open by disappointment or loss, or by your own failure, and live up to your expectations of yourself. In the failure, thank you for the hearts, Dhumavati is our guide. That is the time that we call on her. She takes us down into the cave of the soul. And when we follow her, she shows us that the spring that bubbles up out of the empty places in the heart, in a line that's made famous by Robert F. Kennedy, even in our sleep, pain that cannot forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, and in our own, despite against our will, comes wisdom to us by the awful grace of God. That wisdom and that grace that brings forward is the work of Dhumavati. So right now, there's an energy that we can tap into that knows this wisdom, that's been there through the ages. Through the ages, we can call upon this transformative energy. So there's so many teachings here. It says here, as you chant the mantra, Doom, Doom, Dhumavati Swaha, you say it 9 times. Dhumavati Swaha, and you invoke that energy and just go within it. It's an uncomfortable energy. Like nobody wants to be in that place. Nobody wants to stay in that place. And so, yes, it's easy to run, but where are you going to run to? Honestly, you are not going to be able to run. That energy is going to prevail. So you have to surrender to it. So sorry, that was super loud. Now consider times in your life when your hopes and expectations were disappointed, when you experienced feelings of emptiness and failure. Where are we right now as a world? How did these times contribute to your growth? What gifts did you find in that failure? And write down any insights that arise. So this is a space for you to have some contemplation, to go within, to talk a little bit about this to your own soul. And so there's some other exercises in this book. Again, it's Awakening Shakti. So good. Talking about the power of solitude as we are practicing social distancing, or hopefully you're practicing social distancing. We started on, funny thing, the new moon here in Ellis County. Dallas County started one day before us. It was imposed on midnight. And so the social distancing, power of solitude. I'm going to just read to you some glimpses from this piece that for your takeaway. Dhumavati, it is said, makes you crave aloneness, the kind of solitude that is happy to stand outside the game. Have you ever been there? Like, it's really fun to be part of the party. And my energy tends to be charismatic and part of the party, but to step outside that and purposely not participate. That's where I've been for the last, at least, I don't know, 3 months. Even though you might have seen some things on there, you can, someone had said a request to be live in my video. So you can message me, we can maybe video chat later. So I wanted to get this out here for you so you have something to study with, okay? So just message me after this video, okay? So the power of solitude, like being the witness to the party, not being the life of the party, and not being the wallflower to the party, but being outside of it and watching it. And so this kind of solitude, something to value intensely, a position or a relationship, and then you're able to come to peace with that and let it go. So the decision of a relationship to let it go, the decision for work, like a job, to let that go. So it is an initial period of regret and bitterness, and then there's a moment that you just give up the fight. So she's talking about in her first person, she's talking about going into the reality and walking off the psychic battlefield. The peace that arose in her was so deep as anything that she's ever experienced. It shocked her to realize how much tension and anxiety there was in fighting reality, and what a state of relaxation arises when you just let go of winning or fighting or clinging, and you can just be. And that's where we are globally. We can't fight. We have to surrender. And we are in this place of surrender, which interestingly comes full circle back to the theme that my whole entire teaching staff came up with as our theme for the month, from this new moon to the next new moon, with our online healing arts center, which I will segue into after I read this passage. So this is a skill that you can carry through repeated experiences of radical disappointments. So it's a skill that arises through a particular form of grace. Many of us are crushed by disappointment, like the man who loses his job and then has a heart attack. Grief can wreck your respiratory system. So this is another thing to protect our respiratory system. So some people who have deep grief develop heart and lung issues. My father died from heart and lung issues because of the deep grief that he had manifested from the loss of my mother 7 years earlier. And all of his issues were heart chakra related. Every one of them can be connected to the neuro plexus within the heart. And then, of course, psychology tells us the energetics of the heart field is also connected to that science of those neural pathways. And so you have to be very careful on how you carry grief and how you deal with it, because you have to let it out. There has to be a space where you just cry. There's whatever you've lost during this period of transition, you must allow yourself to feel. You have to give yourself permission to emote. If you don't know how to get there, I have a dear friend, Jamie Ray, who put out a very, very, very transparent video on her YouTube channel called Divine Sight Healing Arts. And watch it. Because if you can't get within yourself to emote, that will trigger you. You have to let those emotions flow, or they will manifest into dis-ease. And I did talk to one of our medical doctors who's on our Healing Arts, Yoga for Love Healing Arts team. And she said she's on the front lines in New York with trying to find vaccine for this virus, and also fighting the people who are affected. And she said most of them that are dying have underlying conditions of the heart and lungs. It's she said she can send statistics, but just as a general statement. So we must protect our heart and lungs. And part of that is processing what is happening, processing this grief, letting go of what's happening as it comes in. Feel it. Don't run from it. You cannot run from your shadow. You think about a baby, when a baby first sees his shadow and he's like, hey, you know, what the heck is that? You know, and he tries to run away, but the shadow always follows him. The shadow is going to always follow you. You cannot run away from it. I just saw an amazing live video from Alex Gray Cosm. And if you are on his channel on Instagram, he's an amazing awakened human who's so talented and channeled so much beautiful art. And he was talking specifically about this duality. He's doing a piece right now about this duality and how we blend into the cosmic grid, and that those eyes are all around us that we're seeing. And it's just this amazing place to be, that we know that we are reaching for the light, but we also know that shadow side is also pulling in that duality. And that's where we stand in this lifetime right now, that we have chosen to enter this lifetime and be in this experience. And so we can't run from it. So Dhumavati, just to kind of wrap up the tail end of this teaching on this goddess, she is our infallible guide. Let go is Dhumavati's deepest mantra. It arises as the subtle whisper in the heart when you meet her irreversible force and realize that in crushing you, it expands your borders until borders have absolutely no more meaning. Then you flow through reality like smoke and stare out at the world with a vision that understands that you are in everything. We are all one. We are all one. We chose this moment to be in this life. Regardless of your spiritual or your dogma that you've been attached to, please hear me. You picked this incarnation. You are here for a reason. If you are living in fear, process it and let go. Just be in the river. Be in the flow. You can't control it. Throw the paddles out. Throw the oars out. And listen to what brings you joy. What is that right now that speaks to your heart, that speaks to your soul and brings you joy? Follow that. That is your navigation tool. Love will always win. Love is the only thing that is real. Let love be your guide. So that is my message for you today. And thank you for the hearts. I appreciate you being on. I want to close with an invitation. First of all, interesting enough, my book, Yoga for Love Tools, is all the tools that I'm teaching on. Here's the copy here. You can get on Amazon. If that will help you, that'll ship right to your door. Tons of different tools in there. But what I wanted to invite you to was something that's unprecedented, that is happening currently right now. Is born on the new moon, born actually before the new moon, the day before the new moon, on this period of introspection before the new moon. And I want to invite you to be a part. It's Yoga for Love Online Healing Arts Center. And we have right now 13 plus amazing teachers, all the way from young to the crone stage, maiden, matron, crone, all the different stages of teachers. And this is a healing arts platform that is built for you as a membership base to support you on your journey. Hey, thank you for just now joining. Go back to the teachings of the goddess if you want to catch that and rewind. But right now, I want to invite you to be part of this membership. It's a 2-week free trial where you get to take all of these amazing classes from 13 different teachers from all different points of experience, all different teaching styles, yoga, sound healing, self-massage, chanting, Ayurveda, healing arts of all sorts, vinyasa yoga, restorative yoga, chair yoga, breath work. We, again, like I said, we have an MD on staff to consult with you. This is all free. You can join it by visiting my Instagram. I have a little link tree in there. Click that. The URL is my website, which is yogaforlove.com. So it's store.yogaforlove with the number 4.com/membership. And that's going to get you into the page where you can actually get the membership for free. And then if you decide you want to stay in the membership, this is a platform where it's not just Facebook Live where we're just talking at you from a tablet or whatever. You're actually able to interact with all of our teachers. And at the end of the class, we will take questions and answers as well. So you're able to actually communicate just like you're in a real yoga studio. It is just a virtual space for it. And this has been the platform that we've built has already been there. The teachings that we've built have already been there. Thank you for sharing. Yes, absolutely. And so this has been birthed out of this place of going within and listening to what is needed right now in the world. And what we need right now is community. We need healing. We need love. And we need tools for teaching, because we need to have this application. For those of you that have studied these tools, this is the time that we are here for. This is why we did all this study, because now we can take it and use it. We can teach it. We are here to bring these tools to you so you can have them right there at your fingertips, 24/7, 365. The classes are on a regular schedule. I'm going to actually finish up refining that schedule and put it on the page. And you can find that on Facebook under Yoga for Love online training programs with the number 4. And that's the business page. The membership is under there. There's a group that you can join under there. And so it's so good to see you on. It's so good to see you here. I want to see you in the membership, taking part and joining in with our beautiful tribe of teachers. We need to band together right now. And this is why we're here. So again, you can find it in my bio. Again, the link is yogaforlove.com/membership. with the word store. If it's not membership, it's membership with an S. I can't remember if there's an S on there or not, so try it either way. And I will also put it in the link in the comments. So after the 2-week trial, we have a sliding scale donation. So you can stay on. If your money is good for you right now, I need to pay my teachers, so it's $44 a month. If money is tight for you right now and your income is fluctuating and you don't know where the money is coming from, especially if you're in the service industry, which is one of the first industries that was cut from communication, from interaction with social distancing, right? We don't know where our income's coming from, but we know that the same amount of abundance is available in the universe, and it is coming through just in new ways. And we have a sliding scale all the way from $4 a month to the $44 a month. And so you can choose which coupon code resonates with you. So when you sign up for the 2-week trial, you're going to get the emails and you're going to be able to join with those links. Make sure if you know one of my teachers, you're going to use their link to join, because that's how they get paid. So make sure you get onto the membership and get in there. And if you have any specific questions that are on your heart, you can always direct message me. I do go through all of my messages and answer all of my messages within a timely manner. So I'm here for you. If you want a card reading, I'm doing lots of readings. So that might be something that'll give you some answers, give you some comfort right now. So you can also find that link in my Instagram bio or on my website. And thank you so much for joining me today. If this video helped you in any way to find some peace, some comfort, some joy, some reassurance, or even just some information, please share it with your friends and make sure to subscribe so we can stay in touch. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being on. Namaste.